friends. How's it going? Okay, so I'm super excited to talk to you a little bit today about goal setting. And so we had this conversation in another chat and group I was in, and we were doing a Zoom. And one thing that is really powerful to me about goal setting, because sometimes goal setting can be a little scary, a little overwhelming, a little like, but I want you to think of it this way. Okay, so there's a couple of ways that I like to look at this. So if you, without a goal, like without an end destination in mind, it's kind of like showing up at the airport and just showing up and being like, okay, I'm getting on this flight and not knowing where you're going, right? But with the goal in mind, you know that you're going to this airport and you're flying on this airline, this flight, this is where your bags are, and this is where you're going, right? Because without that, you're just ending up somewhere. You're hopping on a plane and who knows where it's going to take you. So with goals and setting those goals, you know where your destination is and you know where you're going. So if your goal is, so my goal is 3-star diamond. That is my current goal. So what do I need to do that? To do that, I need to develop, at least in order to be a 3-star diamond, I will have to have 3 unique jewel legs underneath me. So what am I doing every day to work on developing that long range goal? So if that is my big goal, the big goal, I can break that down into the daily activities that are going to help me meet those. You take it from the big, huge long-term vision and then break it down into annual goals, into quarterly goals, monthly goals, weekly goals, and daily goals. And sometimes we need to readjust the timeline. It's not failure. It's just you're learning as you go. So we might not hit the goal for this week, for this day, for this month, but we're learning along the way. So it's not a failure. It's just a learning opportunity. And then you get to crush it out and you just shift the timeline if you need to, but you still know what your end goal, what your end destination is. And that I think is essential, because if you're training for something, if you're working on something, you need to know what it is you're doing. It's not that you're just getting out there and running and I don't know, am I trying to get healthier? Am I trying to run this race? Am I just running in circles, or am I actually trying to do something with that? And I just think having that focus, knowing where you're going, a map. It's kind of also like driving a car. This is another analogy I've used, is like, we don't just say, okay, I am going to be going to, say, I don't know, let's say I'm going to Chicago. And so then I would do the old school map, because I'm old. But remember with AAA, and you'd get those TripTiks and you'd like plot your directions along the way, and you'd be like, oh, okay, we're here. And you just like I would take my highlighter out and be like, yeah, I made it to this point. This is a checkpoint. And then it'd be like, oh, we're in this town. Okay, awesome. Ooh, there's a detour. Okay, well, we'll get back on track. We're just going to take that. Yeah, it slows us down, but okay, eventually we're going to get back. It's the same with your business and the same with your goal setting. So make that goal. Okay, so that's your map. So it's from point A to point B. Think big, because if you're just thinking about that next stop, it doesn't allow you to cast that vision and think big and what all needs to happen. So think big and then break it down into those steps along the way. And I think that's going to be a huge piece of the puzzle. It is my favorite thing to do. I make daily goals, I make weekly goals, I make monthly, quarterly, and then the big annual and multi-annual goals. And it is fun to see what you can do and readjust and make it work. So I hope this helps and you guys are crushing it. Keep moving forward in your momentum and growing and sharing this beautiful opportunity.